everyone, my name is Liz. I read, and today I have 5 recommendations for YA romance. So this is going to be a quick video, just 5 recommendations of books that I really enjoyed, books or series that are specifically YA romance. These are all 5-star reads for me. I loved every single one of them. Some of them I've read more recently and others I've read a long time ago. But when I did read them, I did really enjoy them. So with number 1 is The Selection by Kiera Cass. In this story, it follows American Singer. It's a dystopian world where it's a caste system, and based on your number is the type of occupation you will be doing. So it starts from number 1, which is the royalty, all the way down to, I believe, 7 or 8, and that's kind of like people who are living on the streets. So American Singer is a 5, so that means she's an artist. She herself is a musician. She sings and plays piano and other instruments. Since she is a musician and an artist, her and her family do not make a lot of money. They're usually just hired for parties and things like that. So in this world, in order for the prince, who is heir to the throne, to find a spouse, they put on this thing called The Selection, and it's kind of like a bachelorette type competition. American Singer doesn't want anything to do with it, but she somehow gets swept up into it. She applies and she actually gets selected for The Selection. And this is a series. It first started out as a trilogy and then expanded on to additional 2 other books. So there's The Selection, The Elite, The One, The Heir, and The Crown. And then there's also a companion short story compilation called Happily Ever After. It has short stories and some notes by the author. So yeah, so that's my first recommendation. For number 2, the other copy that I have on me is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I've only read this past month and I absolutely loved it. I'd never read anything by Jenny Han before, but now I'm going to read everything she's written because I absolutely loved it. This is the first of a trilogy. So there's To All the Boys I've Loved Before. There's also P.S. I Still Love You, and let's see, there we go. And then there's also Always and Forever Laura Jean. So in the first one, this follows Laura Jean, and she's a girl who, in order to get over a crush, she writes them a letter, and she puts all these letters into the hat box in her room that her mother has given her. And for whatever reason, somehow these letters get sent out to her previous crushes, and it's about the repercussions from there. This one is so good. I absolutely loved it. This is definitely a character-driven story. Like there is still the main plot, but I feel like you're kind of following her day-to-day life with her and her family, and there's a lot of family dynamics in the story, which I absolutely enjoyed. You don't always get that with YA, and so it was just a sweet story and I loved it, and I'm really excited. I have not read P.S. I Still Love You yet, but I'm definitely going to be getting to that. The third suggestion that I have is By Your Side by Casey West. This is my first Casey West book I've read, and I'm going to keep reading her other books because I absolutely enjoyed it. It follows a girl who gets locked into the library over a weekend with a mysterious boy who has a reputation at school, and it's about their weekend spending together and the events that followed afterwards. It was so good, and like the parts of the library was good, but that wasn't even my favorite part. My favorite part was everything that happened afterwards, and it deals with a little bit of mental illness as well, specifically anxiety, which I've never read before, and so it was kind of a fresh take on that, and it was really good. I definitely recommend it. My 4th recommendation is Wings by April Lynn Pike, and this is a series. Actually, it used to be just a 4-book series, but now it's turned into a 5-book series, and it's Wings, Spells, Illusions, and Destined. And then the last book, I can't even pronounce that word. I don't even know what it is, so I'm just gonna place it here so you guys can read it. So this story, I haven't read it for a really long time, but when I did read it, I loved it. It's about a girl who one day, for whatever reason, she sprouts wings, and I don't really want to say more about it because I don't remember, for one thing. I don't even know what else to say. It's about that and her like discovering what she may actually be, whether she's human or something else. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. And it is a romance, and I would say it's a heavily romantic fantasy. So there is still lots of fantasy elements, but first it would be fantasy, and then secondary, I would say it's a romance. So I definitely recommend that one. The last book I recommend is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is such a good story. It's such a heartbreaking story. I absolutely recommend it. It's like kind of like a retelling of the Queen of Hearts story, heavily on romance. But if you like Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, I highly recommend it. People who really love that story usually like this as well. I've personally never read Alice in Wonderland, but it definitely gave you lots of Lewis Carroll vibes, and Marissa Meyer is a fabulous writer. She's the one who's written the Cinder series and also the new Renegades that just came out last month, I believe. No, this month. Anyways, so highly recommend it. This is just a standalone. It's not a series like the other suggestions I gave you, so if you just want a standalone, I would highly recommend this. So that is everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I want you guys to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Remember to subscribe and ring that notification bell if you want to know when my next video is. You can also follow me on Goodreads and Twitter. And I want you guys to keep reading. Bye!